Talking's over. Talk is cheap. What'd you think, pal? Let's go!
Well, every time, that's who we are. That's outstanding.
Sunday Night Football. Everybody wants it.
Celebration time. The Ravens win it.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, does it again. The Lions. They've got him.
A tremendous throw by Mayfield to big play.
Oh, my goodness.
His first career touchdown. Here we go. I take it.
It is showtime. Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott, because first place in the NFC East is on the line. Dak's been playing some of his best football of his whole entire career. He's an MVP contender. Cowboys are welcoming in the Eagles and Jalen Hurts. That's their arch rival. And looking to bounce back from that blowout loss against the Niners last week. And the guy with the easiest ride into the stadium, Rowdy.
Let's go, Rowdy. Let's go.
Rowdy.
That's my favorite mascot.
Really?
Yeah.
Jason loves that.
All right, guys, we got a lot of football going on. A football night alert with the 49ers. Deebo Samuel scoring his second touchdown of the day against the Seahawks. Remember, Seattle playing without Geno Smith. They've got Drew Lock starting at QB, and that game is on Fox. Meanwhile, in the AFC, we've got the Bills taking on the Chiefs, and the Chiefs were down as much as 14-zip, but this field goal ties it up.
Patrick Mahomes is never out of it. Look at him jamming in the back of the end zone. Chiefs ready to go.
A lot of Rashee Rice in that one, a lot of Travis Kelce in that one. We're going to keep you updated on all the late games still going on. We might get some points in the Vikings-Raiders matchup. We'll keep you posted on that as well. Hello and welcome everyone to Football Night in America. Every second obviously counts. We are in week 14, inching closer to the end of the season. Maria Taylor alongside Devin McCourty and Jason Garrett here. And let's talk about, Jason, first of all, what matters to you, and that would be the Ravens. Now a 10-win team sitting atop the AFC.
They sure are. They matter to me, Maria. They've been playing from ahead all year long, and today they had to come from behind and win a close one. Lamar Jackson was on fire, almost accounted for 400 yards of offense, the touchdown to Zay Flowers, but this was the play in overtime. Backup returner, Tylan Wallace. It's the walk-off punt return, and there's pandemonium in Baltimore. They're 10-3. They're the #1 seed in the AFC right now.
Jason, they're not the only team in the AFC North. They all thought it was over in Cincinnati. Burrow's hurt. Jake Browning has come in after only having 10 points against Pittsburgh in Week 12. 34 points in the last 2 weeks. Jake Browning, LeBron James, all Ohio. Shoot your jump shot, Jake Browning.
Okay, let's keep talking about backup QBs because the AFC has had to play 8 different quarterbacks. And the Browns playing Joe Flacco, it seems to be working out with what matters, Chris.
I mean, it's unbelievable we're watching. Joe Flacco, he's sitting at home on the couch a few weeks ago. Now they're relying on him to throw for 300 yards in a big game in the AFC matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Play actions, bootleg passes, David Njoku early on. Hey, look at Joe. Old man on the run outside the pocket, finding a completion there. This was the play of the day right here. 21-14, 4th and 3. Finds Bell over the middle, wide open touchdown. The Browns never looked back. Way to go, Joe Flacco. You deserve a lot of credit. Yeah, out like a lamb, you know, you get it? In like a lion, out like a lamb. It ain't looking good in Detroit on defense right now. They forgot the D. Darnell Mooney looked good today. DJ Moore, my man Justin Fields made plays with his legs and his arm. And the biggest play you'll see of the day is coming up right here. 4th and 13. Wow, you talk about gambling. Big throw, DJ Moore down the field. Lions secondary defense struggling right now, Maria. Going to be interesting to see if they can rebound.
I don't get the lion lamb joke, but that's totally fine. The Vikings, they are on the board against the Raiders. They had a 36-yard field goal. All right, guys, it's that time of the year. The khakis are in the building. Steve Kornacki painting our playoff picture. What do you have for us to start the day?
Yeah, Maria, great time of year. Great to be here. Let's get right to it. Who did the most to advance their playoff position today? Let's take a look by conference. In the AFC, Chris was just talking about that Browns win. The Browns moved to 8-5. They entered this week in a 4-way tie at 7-5. All 3 of those other teams lost this week. So what the Browns have now is at least a game up on every other team in the AFC wildcard hunt. It adds up to a 75% chance now of the Cleveland Browns making the playoffs. On the NFC side, It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers who did the most this week. Look, they had a 30% shot entering today. That does not do justice what they achieved, because in the final minutes of that game, they were behind. If they'd lost, they basically would have been extinct in the playoff race. Instead, that late rally, and they have a 50-50 shot now, the Bucs do. We'll talk about the NFC South a little bit later, but a 50-50 shot for the Bucs when they could have been virtually eliminated. Big swing, big day for them.
Okay, from that we go to the NFC. We have a final score with the 49ers 28-16. They got the victory over the Seahawks, but we're going to head to AT&T Stadium. The fans are out. That means Jack Collinsworth, Tony Dungy, and Rodney Harrison are out as well. Good evening, guys.
Maria, it is a scene. It is a scene out here. One of the most celebrated rivalries. High stakes tonight. Crucial game for the NFC East. And then also you look at a close race for that top seed in the NFC. This is fun just to be
Jack,
here.
you can just feel the energy. These two fan bases absolutely hate each other, Coach.
And the same goes for the team. So when it's a game like this, a rivalry, all this emotion, who can keep their poise? Who can play with discipline? When these teams met earlier in the year, there were 20 penalties in the game. I want to see who can play hard but play with composure.
I got to give props to Mike McCarthy. I think he's done a wonderful job this year. He's turned Dak Prescott into an MVP, CeeDee Lamb into an All-Pro. He's done a great job this year, Jack.
Him calling those plays has really helped as well for Dak.
Absolutely, and Dak told me that he's really re-energized himself, being more involved in the play calling.
Big game feel to this one. Eagles, they haven't won here since 2017. A win tonight, put them 2 games up on Dallas. We're just getting started for the Big D.
Football night alert. The Vikings sitting at second in the NFC North, and they're trying to seal the deal with that field goal. The interception.
Going to Devontae Adams, the go-to guy.
It's in a team meeting. It's in a team meeting right there. What are we doing?
He hit him right in the chest.
Okay, we might have the first 3 finals since 2007, and the Vikings leading this victory.
3-0.
3-0. You gotta love it. All right, let's get back out to AT&T Stadium, Jack.
Yeah, Maria, DeAndre Swift getting set. Just 6 carries to his name last week in Philly. They have a smart, passionate fan base. This week, the message, it was clear, Coach Dungy. They said, run the ball more. They're early in the morning.
Run the ball!
Against this Cowboys defense, the fans, they make a nice point, don't they?
They really do. Dallas has fast defenders. They can rush the passer. You have to attack them the way Philly normally attacks, with that power running game, inside the tackles, big offensive line. Rodney, this is what they need to get back to tonight.
And, Coach, when you have success running the football, look what it does to the linebackers. It makes them more aggressive, their vision in the backfield, and now it opens up the quick passing game. Look, Philly does the tush push, and they get 3 to 4 yards every single time. You can't tell me if they line up and run the football 25 times, they can't get 4 or 5 yards a carry.
They need to feed DeAndre Swift tonight.
Interesting, too, because Nick Sirianni, the head coach, said he appreciated the fans' enthusiasm this week. And basically, they were right. He said, we do need to run the ball more. Only 3 years in. But you can tell the head coach, he gets Philly. Back into you, Maria.
All right, I love talking about the battle that we're going to see on the ground. The Eagles need to run the ball, but let's talk about what we're going to see through the air and the battle between the DBs of the Cowboys and what we're going to see from the wide receivers of the Eagles.
This Dallas Cowboys defense, these 2 corners, they do something that not everybody can do. They go out there and they play you mano-a-mano, man-to-man. And I would tell all Cowboys Nation, believe in these guys. Don't worry about moving bland because of the game last week against DK.
Been great all year.
Look at him. He's out here. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, he goes out there and competes. Jason, this is what it's all about, man-to-man defense. I love watching it.
They've been fantastic outside. In any kind of a matchup, they can guard them. But the key to the whole thing are the guys rushing the quarterback. Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence. It's a quicker clock for the quarterback. They don't have to cover as long, and they're more aggressive, and they make a ton of plays.
No question. And you're right. The Cowboys D, those DBs, they're putting some tough spots all year long. They come through. There's no doubt about it. I would just be careful about doing it too much against this group. That's what I would say.
Live and die on it.
A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. And then the other part, because of what JG said, right, is, hey, the Eagles' offensive line, it's the best pass-protecting O-line in football. So that's where I'd be careful about playing too much man-to-man. It's going to be an interesting chess match tonight.
Something to keep our eyes on, too. Micah Parsons battling through the flu.
Oh, yeah.
And he's one of the dogs for this Cowboys defense, so we'll see how he's able to show up tonight in this rivalry matchup. All right, A.J. Brown, you love to see it. That's one of the guys that wants to
He said, what, McCourty?
What did he say?
Man-to-man? I have some battles with him.
Highlights coming up next. Peacock's giving you a chance to win the ultimate NFL fan package. Just go to NBC.com/Peacock NFL Sweeps, and you can win 2 tickets to the Peacock Wildcard exclusive game on January 13th and so much more. And remember, we've got the Bills and Chargers exclusively on Peacock on December 23rd. For more, go to peacocktv.com/NFL. All right, let's get you caught up on what happened in the NFC South, starting with the Saints and the Panthers. Derek Carr is back. He cleared the concussion protocol, so he's starting today. And a blocked punt. This is what we expect to see, actually.
Yeah, this is probably one of the best highlights of the day. Somehow the Saints continue to put pressure. Shout out Darren Rizzi, the Saints special teams coach. Strong.
Go ahead, Riz.
Way to go, Riz. Real excited. Psycho special teams coach.
All right, then Derek Carr, they're taking advantage. Chris Olave gets the 7-yard touchdown. New Orleans in a 3-way tie for the NFC South lead with that victory. Then we've got the Buccaneers taking on the Falcons. Desmond Ridder trying to stay ahead in the NFC South.
It's hot and cold with Desmond Ridder. He had some big moments. Some big plays. He found Drake London and Kyle Pitts today in a big way in the pass game, and then keeps the ball around the edge here. We know he can make some plays with his legs. They got a little offense going. You're going, uh-oh, they might have the Bucs in trouble here late in the game.
Atlanta would get the 2-point conversion as well and take a 3-point lead. Bucs on the next drive, over a minute left. Baker Mayfield looking for Godwin.
Well, I think that's what we're impressed with the Bucs. It's not the team, but they do have some playmaking ability, guys, right? Godwin, Evans, so they can be stagnant forever and all of a sudden rip off a 3-play, 75-yard drive for a touchdown. K-Dot and TD.
So they were going to iron right there. You thought it was going to be iron.
Good news for Tampa. Bucs. They controlled their path to a division title thanks to that touchdown throw. And Mike Florio had a chance to speak to the QB who threw it, Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, Baker said that on that play, he expected Mike Evans and Chris Godwin to be double-teamed. He thought that if K-Dot and the tight end won off the line of scrimmage on the corner route, he'd give him a chance, and it worked. It's also working for the Buccaneers. Mayfield cherishes this underdog mentality. Nobody believes in us. He said it's something to cherish and to harness as the stretch run commences. And this is his first year in Tampa. He's on a 1-year contract. He loves it there. He told me he wants to stay.
All right, Steve, what does this mean for the NFC South?
It means we got a real race, and Tampa Bay controls the tiebreaker because you got to go all the way down to common games. But controlling the tiebreaker means they control the path. But be careful, Bucs fans. Next 2 weeks, you got to go to Green Bay, and then you got to play the Jags. So some potential tripwires here next 2 weeks. Atlanta, meanwhile, huge blown opportunity, blowing that late lead. Had they won today, their odds would have been greater than 80% of winning this division. Instead, just 27%. And don't forget about the Saints. If a couple things break their way, look what's at the very end of the season for them. The Bucs and the Falcons to close it out. Those could end up being decisive games. Again, if a few things break their way.
All right, Steve, we got 4 weeks left, and you saw it on this board, 6 and 7 across the way. Who do you like right now in the NFC South?
You know, among those teams, I like Tampa the most. They got a quarterback who's got a little stuff in his neck, a little moxie to him. A little moxie. Yeah. 2 big-time receivers outside, and they're capable of playing really good defense.
Right.
So among those teams, I like the Bucs.
Is it who we like or who we just don't like? Yeah, I think that's what it is.
I love it. I like Atlanta's team the best. We have questions about the quarterback. It's a big question mark, and that's where I just don't trust them down the stretch.
Okay, I understand. Well, we got another.
Maria.
I know. I love Atlanta, but I understand, guys, what you got to say. Guys, we got a final now with the Vikings. They get the victory, 3-zip over the Raiders. And right now we've got the Bills driving, 5:19 left to play against the Chiefs. We're all knotted up at 17.
Whoa, look at these guys. Man.
Leading rusher of all time in the National Football League.
And Barry Switzer.
My favorite player growing up,
National
Emmitt
champion,
Smith.
Super Bowl champion, Coach Switzer. How about that?
Boomer Sooner.
This is Football Night in America, served by Applebee's.
Long-time leaders of that Eagles defense getting ready to go, and Fletcher Cox, Eagles defense season 1, or defensive coordinator Sean Desai. The year started well, but over the past month, they've given up the most yards in the league. So, Ron, what is it that's going on with this Eagles defense right now?
Well, this is a very talented bunch. They do a great job of rotating. The coach gives them a lot of freedom, and I think that's the biggest problem because they don't have a lot of discipline. You look at Hassan Reddick on the left-hand side. He decides to go inside and peek inside. Now he gives up that edge. No discipline. Now it's a 30-yard game. You have to play with discipline. It doesn't matter how much talent you have. On the other side, you got Josh Sweat. He has to understand that every play can't be a pass. He has to get low, bend his knees, and hold that edge, Coach.
And all these things that are showing up in the running game, Rodney, they're showing up in the secondary too. And that was their problem against Dallas in the first game. Missed tackles, missed assignments in the secondary. They've got to tighten up all the way around.
And Rod, I saw you talking about those linebackers. They've had injuries at that position, so Philly signed a 3-time All-Pro in Shaquille Leonard this week, and he will make his Eagles debut tonight.
And Jack, if I'm Dallas, I'm running at him to see if he can hold up against those big guards, and I'm also forcing him to cover guys in space to see if he still has that quickness.
He's had some back injuries recently.
Yep.
Sent it back in to Maria Taylor.
All right, thanks, Jack. We're keeping an eye on all of these late games, and a key third down conversion comes off of a penalty.
Illegal contact down the field, right? Bill still got the ball here. We're getting close to the 2-minute warning, and it's 17-all.
Yeah, all right. We're going to keep you updated on the late games for Week 14, but we got more highlights from some of the biggest games that are already in the books. That's coming up next.
This is my moment. This is my moment. And that ball blocked. And score. Ready for my legacy. It's only begun. I'm the one. DJ Moore loping into the end zone. It was the party of the Ramsey. Go ahead and take your shot. Take your shot. Caught ball. Touchdown. Cade Otton. This is my moment.
Good Hands Moments. Presented by Allstate. Football Night in America is brought to you by Applebee's. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood. And by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
Oh my gosh, look at the baby Jason. Did you guys see him in 2010?
Man.
Yes.
Was he coaching or playing?
Oh, look at that guy.
Yeah, look at him.
Damn, handsome. Definitely a few pounds lighter.
Yeah.
He didn't have to go there. He didn't have to go there.
Sunday Night Football head coaching debut,
Love
Jason.
Andy Reid right there, huh?
You didn't win it, I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you. Yeah, the
Sean
Eagles
Jackson
did get the victory. Okay, a centerpiece, though, of those Dallas teams that we just saw, Hall of Fame pass rusher DeMarcus Ware, the franchise's all-time leader in sacks, who was inducted into the Cowboys Ring of Honor in October. A couple of weeks ago, Ware was at the Ultimate Game Day viewing party hosted by Crown Royal. To celebrate Giving Tuesday, Crown Royal hosted the party in honor of the military community. There was food, Crown Royal cocktails, and a performance by Grammy-nominated artist Breland. Because Crown Royal believes it's not what you've got that matters, it's what you give. All right, Jalen Hurts looking to make it 2-0 against the Cowboys this season.
Here they come.
Fly, Eagle, fly.
Oh, baby. Eagles, Cowboys.
We'll see who you guys actually pick when we get down to the next segment. All right, let's check in with how the Vikings got the victory over the Raiders. It was not a lot to stay awake for, but remember, Justin Jefferson did come back after missing 7 games. He goes out with a chest injury. Here's a little offense for you.
Yeah, it was a yawner. Josh Dobbs out, Nick Mullins in. He finds Hawkinson late, and then the game winner, Greg Joseph. 3-0, baby. Not since 2007.
Yeah, sounds like a soccer sport.
A lot of 1925 football going on lately in the
It's
NFL.
just football, okay? Rams taking on the Ravens.
Here we go.
This
Here's
was
some
a fun
excitement.
one, a wild one. To the fourth quarter we go. Matthew Stafford looking for DeMarcus Robinson.
Stafford, the Rams, they got to be proud of their effort, what they did. Stafford made so many big throws throughout the game. There were so many big offensive plays. It was a blast to watch this one.
Yeah, with the Rams up 5. Jackson, do you have the answer for us?
Oh, this was a clutch drive right here. This is what we haven't seen from the Ravens. Third and 17. When they're behind, it's a close game. It's one thing that they haven't done here this year. They answer the bell in a big way, but then all of a sudden it's Stafford and Cooper Kupp again.
Yeah, that's one thing we're used to seeing. That's a 34-yard game. 2 plays later, Stafford's looking to call game here. Marlon Humphrey says no way.
Oh, it should have been game for Marlon Humphrey and the Ravens right there. He catches this 9 times out of 10, but DeMarcus Robinson, good job playing defender there as a
getting
receiver,
that ball
right?
out.
Yeah, so
Protect your quarterback.
Yes, sir.
so they would go on to kick the field goal. We have a tie ball game. So the Rams are punting in OT. And we're thinking, okay, we're about to just get it started. Tylan Wallace, get to know this young man.
Wow.
He's going to take it 76 yards for a punt return.
What? I mean, first off, breaking that tackle right there, right? Getting through another arm tackle, almost gets tripped up. Still finds it. John Harbaugh, the ex-special teams coach, he was happy, right?
That's a backup punt returner.
That's amazing. Big win for the Ravens.
The 4th overtime punt return touchdown in NFL history. The 2nd this season. Remember, the Jets did it in week 1. Harbaugh, I mean, you got to be excited with that huge victory. Oh, and Wallace, they doused him, guys. Look. He got the full water cooler treatment.
Everybody loves the guy who comes out of nowhere and wins the game over you, right?
But we still had some star-studded performances, though, guys, from Lamar Jackson and Matthew Stafford. It was pouring rain. It was an ugly, ugly, ugly place to play, but 3 touchdowns apiece. They gave us 610 yards of passing offense. It was a fun one to see for sure. The Ravens, a half-game lead, though, in the AFC.
And here we go. Like, one of the cool things, you said it was raining. Not for Lamar Jackson. Everybody else's footing was bad.
He had the right cleats on.
He was out there. He was moving left, right, making moves, throwing the ball, too. He just put so much pressure on the Rams, Jason. They had a tough time just tackling him.
Yeah, so many plays from the pocket. So many times he extended plays and made plays with his feet. And then he kept his eyes up, threw the ball down the field. And these guys know how to get into open spaces and finish the plays.
Keeps the eyes down the field, right? Stays in throwing position. That's the maturity of Lamar Jackson. And they needed this right here. Sure. This is going to serve them well when it comes to playoff time. We didn't know whether they could come back in the 4th quarter. Lamar Jackson make big-time throws. Proved it to us today.
Like I said, they're sitting at the top of the AFC. The Rams, though, they're sitting there in the hunt. They could have used a victory, too. We have a football night alert, though. The Bills and Chiefs, they're battling back and forth. And the Bills taking the lead off of this field goal after Josh Allen had a little magic getting down the field.
There's a lot of time left over.
Yeah.
You were saying it before.
They only needed 13 seconds one time, so there's a lot of ball left here. That guy, it's always scary.
Patrick Mahomes is like, okay, we're good. Don't you even worry about it, guys.
Does his blood pressure even raise? I don't even know.
Absolutely not.
Here we go, boys. Here we go. Come on, baby. Some lightning on this drive.
He gave him a little chase behind some spark.
Doesn't get better than that.
Have a little of this.
That's what I'm talking about.
Gonna be a barn burner.
Put one together, baby.
Hurts does it again.
It's a feeding frenzy.
He did it again. Oh, good night.
This is Football Night in America. Served by Applebee's.
All right, that guy right there leads the league in passing touchdowns at 26, and our leader in fantasy is up next. Time for the DraftKings Sportsbook 3-play. Matthew Berry, take it away.
Thank you, Maria. All right. In terms of our DraftKings 3-play tonight, listen, you guys, if you watch this show, you know I love Jalen Hurts. He's my ride or die from last year. But this year, the rushing just hasn't been there. So that's where my DraftKings 3-play starts tonight is Jalen Hurts. I want the under on his rushing yards. Listen, last 5 of the last 6 games, he's been under 40 rushing yards, including against Dallas in Week 9. Since Week 8, by the way, Cowboys are a top 10 run defense. Give me the under on Jalen Hurts rushing tonight. Now let's move to the other side of the ball. How do the Cowboys move it in this game? Through the air, and we start with my guy, 8, CeeDee Lamb. Eagles have allowed the 2nd most yards per game to wide receivers. Lamb had almost 200 yards the last time they faced. Give me an alt line, over 70 receiving yards for CeeDee Lamb. And then we say this in fantasy football all the time. Start your tight ends against the Eagles. Jake Ferguson, I wanted the over on his receiving yards. Eagles have allowed at least 44 receiving yards to an individual tight end in 4 of their past 5 games, including Ferguson, who had more than double this number when they faced off in week number 9. So give me the over on Jake Ferguson, 43.5 receiving yards. That's my DraftKings 3-play. Hurts, Lamb, and Ferguson. Maria?
All right, Matthew, some great weapons for Dak Prescott, who is amid a career year. He's put himself in the MVP conversation. And, of course, we know the guy who helped start that career.
That's right.
Yeah.
We know that guy.
This week, after 4 years together in Dallas, Jason Garrett met up with his old QB.
My man. Attaboy. Keep everybody focused now.
Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott broke out of it.
Let's talk about this year. After the San Francisco game, maybe there was a little frustration at that time, and now 6 weeks later, you've never played better football. What's changed since then?
That won't surprise me. You know, I thought we were ready to go, and just to get punched in the mouth the way we did, it was a great wake-up, humbling call for us.
Again, nothing.
We didn't fight the way that we should have through the end.
The 3rd interception of the night.
And so I think we went to the game plan, changing how we want to attack guys, and I realized I need to use my feet, extending plays, allowing these guys to get open.
And also throwing the ball down the field a little bit more.
That's definitely true. We want to be aggressive. You got to take your shots, and I don't think we were doing that early enough. I mean, Coach McCarthy would be the first to say that. And so now it's about, you give us one-on-one and you want to challenge us, we're going to challenge you, see if you can keep up. Go win this! I have the pen, I have the paper, and I'm the one writing.
I loved your quote, I have the pen. I have a chance to write the story. Where does that philosophy come from?
I've always believed I was in control. And, you know, really going back to my rookie year, I credit those vets pushing me forward. Saying, go be that guy. Use your energy, use your passion for the game. And I think it's about growing those relationships in the locker room, and I'm going to keep writing.
Meet y'all in the end zone.
Tell me about Here We Go.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, here we go. One, two.
Is that the new Omaha?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that, you know.
Here we go. 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 One, two. Here we go. One, two.
It really comes from me to tell them to stop communicating. So it's almost like you're warning, here we go.
Here we go.
It's crazy talking about the platform and the reach, and it's definitely becoming an internet sensation.
Here we go.
All right, here we go, Jason. It's got to be fun to spend some time with your old QB. How have you seen him grow right before your eyes?
Well, first off, he's one of the all-time great guys, one of the all-time great leaders and teammates I have ever been around. And he's grown so much because he's the most coachable player I've ever seen. You know, he locks in on you when you're giving him a coaching point, and he says, okay, you want it done that way? I'm going to go do it. And you see the immediate improvement. So now he's played all these games for all these years, and he has that mentality. He keeps growing and growing and growing, and the best is yet to come.
Yeah, and we got a little tape on Dak Prescott, because you said it, throwing down the field, right? Here we go. It's a Dak attack time, okay? And they're just too talented. First off, Dak Prescott, too good at throwing the ball down the field, too many good receivers, and they can protect the passer to be throwing 6-yard slants all the time and jam it in there. So they've opened up the field a lot, right, JG, since that San Francisco loss.
Yeah, they've changed dramatically in the last 6 weeks of the season. It's less about get the ball out in 2.3 seconds. It's more about go play, attack the defense. Let's win one-on-ones down the field, challenge your guys to go beat the defender, and they're doing it. They're also moving the quarterback, loosening things up. They've been awfully good. The best offense the last month of the season.
The last time I played against Dak Prescott as a player, 465 yards passing. So I know about mobile and vertical because he did a lot of that against us. Yes.
20 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions over the last 6 games. All right, we got another football night alert. Crazy play in Kansas City. Okay, well, look, the Kansas City, they're driving, looking for an opportunity. Looks like they're going to get a touchdown here with Kadarius Toney.
I mean, doing magical things like we're used to.
Who thinks to do that, though?
Just throws it across the field to Kadarius Toney.
But
Kadarius Toney lined up offside. His foot was across the line of scrimmage.
Can't do
which
that.
seems impossible as a wide receiver.
National Football League.
Well, it's obviously possible. So the flag has been
Offside,
thrown.
and here's the fourth
and 15.
And let me tell you, Mahomes was mad after this play. Throws the ball over the middle, nothing's there. I don't know what somebody said to him, but the Bills got it, and he was yelling at the ref and everybody.
Well, that game's going on CBS, just went final, 20-17. We've got the full highlights coming your way. We'll tell you how the Bills were able to pull it off. Broncos taking on the Chargers. Justin Herbert. Listen, they scored just 16 points combined in their last 2 games, but you hate to see this. Herbert is hit as he throws. The right hand is injured. Remember, he hurt that left hand in week 4. He would leave and not return. So Easton Stick comes in for the injured Herbert. To the 3rd quarter we go, and the Broncos are up 10. Russell Wilson is looking for Courtland Sutton.
Yeah, tough to see Herbert go out. But the story today is this Denver team. Russell Wilson, everyone counted him out last year. Finding Sutton deep. But this defense, they're not letting anything up. It's been fun to watch this Denver
It
team.
has.
Not as fun to watch the Texans and the Jets for this entire game.
0-0 for a long time in this one.
But Zach Wilson got a standing ovation. He's back for the first time since week 11, and he showed out.
Well, he did. He made some big plays in the second half. The passing game for the Jets got going in the rain. You saw that was the 3rd quarter. That was the first points of the game. And all of a sudden, it started to look like the Jets had a real offense, Maria.
I mean, that is a real offense right there. 3-yard touchdown, Brees Lightning, Brees Hall. A good run there. Zach Wilson. Yeah, listen.
Pumping the fist.
Meanwhile, C.J. Stroud, not as easy. Tank Dell out for the season. Nico Collins.
That's right. They had some injuries today. Certainly the elements, and we all know this Jets defense is real, and they were all over Stroud and these receivers all game long.
Zach Wilson and the offense were real, though. Best game of his career. Stroud, though, just 91 yards passing. The Texans 135 total yards.
Is this real? What are we looking at right now?
It's backwards day.
Let's check in with Mike Florio.
Just under 7 minutes to play in the game. C.J. Stroud's helmet hit the turf at MetLife Stadium. Concussion protocol for him. He won't be able to play until he's cleared. They have the Titans next Sunday.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, the Indianapolis Colts and the Bengals going for it at Paycor Stadium. Jake Browning, remember they're off of that Monday night upset of the Jaguars. Browning had a great showing, and he did not slow down here, and neither did Chase Brown. Check out this 54-yard touchdown.
Maria, Browning has been so impressive in his last 2 weeks. They fake the around, they throw it to Chase Brown. These help, these screens that go for long touchdowns.
That's right.
Jake Browning was all over it all day long.
Yes, well, let's see a little bit more from Jake Browning since we bring it up. We're all tied up at 14, and he's going to look for Tanner Hudson here for an 11-yard touchdown.
Hey, great in situational football. When they got down there, they knocked it in, finding Tanner Hudson, and the crowd's going wild.
The guy's got his own suite already?
He's got his suite.
Wow.
I'll tell you what.
Maybe he borrowed it
The
from Burrow.
franchise, I think he borrowed it from Burrow.
But look at him going deep, too.
Yeah, attack so many different ways. They got a lot of weapons in Cincinnati, and he's orchestrating and finding Higgins right there.
A lot of chunk plays in the second half. Browning this time, he's like, I'm going to take it for myself, okay? My family's in the suite.
Got a little tush push in me.
Exactly. Swish right there. All right, let's get to the Jags taking on the Browns. Joe Flacco making a second consecutive start for the Browns. Opening drive we go. And guess what Flacco does? It's like, we're scoring. Opening drive. It's happening.
3rd and 1. Jacksonville, everybody up at the line of scrimmage. Play action, Njoku. Easy touchdown. Look at the height right there, Njoku.
Seriously.
What an athlete.
He is an athlete.
He had 2 touchdowns on the day. Trevor Lawrence, remember, he's bouncing back from that ankle injury he suffered on Monday, but a tough day.
Yeah, and he found Emerson right here. But Emerson had a big day for this Cleveland defense. We always talk about Myles Garrett and some of the other people. Emerson stepped up, and Lawrence wasn't happy after that.
Yeah, to the 4th quarter we go. Jags are down just a touchdown, had to battle back, but Lawrence intercepted again.
Another play where Lawrence has pressure. He throws it up. Newsome comes up with the interception to prove the point. We are a top defense.
They got some playmakers.
They got some dogs, they say.
Do, yeah.
The Browns going to take over. It's 4th and 3, and going, gone.
I mean, this crushes you as a defense. 4th down, down 7, a chance to get a stop. You don't just give up the play. You give up a touchdown and really end the game for Jacksonville.
I mean, more than impressive there. Flacco, 311 yards passing, 3 touchdowns on the day.
Yeah, great day by Cleveland. Everything Joe Flacco did. The story was a little bit Trevor Lawrence, too, right? We didn't think he was even going to play. He looked pretty healthy, bouncing around the pocket, right? But the big problem is what Devin said. First off, if you have to throw the ball 50 times against Browns defense, they're going to hit you, and they're going to make some interceptions, some plays, and they harass this Jaguars offense all day, JG.
The key is the down guys can get home. They can rush with 4, but then they bring pressure, and the guys in the secondary can hold up,
right,
and they make plays on the back end.
And when you do that, now you're trying to force the ball to different people, and the Cleveland secondary came up with big interceptions.
All right, you're taking a look at the quarterback comparison. We talked about how much Lawrence struggled, but Joe Flacco.
Go ahead, Flacco.
It's backwards day.
I know. Mike Florio, you had a chance to speak with the winning QB.
Well, after the game, Coach Kevin Stefanski said that Flacco is the starter for the rest of the season. I asked Joe, what do you think of that? He said, well, that's the first time hearing of that. 3 weeks ago, he was on no team at all. I said, were you thinking at any point that the phone just wasn't going to ring this year? He said, yeah, probably right about the time the phone did ring. And now he's back, and he's the guy the rest of the way this year for the Browns.
A spry 38 years old, still out there winning games for the Browns. Hey, guys, Patrick Mahomes.
Talk about spry.
Not happy at all. We're going to tell you why.
No, you don't see that much.
Welcome to the Hyundai Sunday Night Kickoff.
3, 2, 1.
Eagles, Dallas, and you can feel it in your bones.
It's showtime.
Touchdown! Kansas City. Clock stop. Eagles on top. This is not just another game.
Here we go again. The birds and the boys.
It's showtime.
So Dak Prescott, one of the top names in the MVP conversation entering tonight, and an opportunity to really separate himself in prime time. Let's go on the field, presented by Hyundai. CeeDee Lamb, he has been phenomenal pairing with Dak. He set a career high in receiving yards when you look back at Week 9 against Philly.
Yeah, and Dak told me during the warm-ups we can expect to see a lot of the same thing that they did in that first game. CeeDee Lamb moving around, trying to get away from the outside corners and work on Philadelphia's nickelback in the slot. I think we're going to see this over and over again, working the ball to CeeDee Lamb.
And, Coach, if I'm the #1 cornerback, I'm Darius Slay, I'm asking my coach, hey, Coach, I want to match up with CeeDee Lamb. I don't care if he's out wide. I don't care if he's in the slot. I want to set the tone for the defense in the secondary.
Defensive stop.
And for Philadelphia, on the other side, I think the key guy could be Devontae Smith. He is lightning fast. He can run after the catch, and he can get deep. I want to see, and I expect to see them get him on DaRon Bland and try to take some shots deep. Bland is a really, really effective player, but Devontae Smith is phenomenal.
Yeah, DaRon Bland struggled last week, Coach, but I still think he's my defensive player of the year. It's hard to get 5 pick sixes, let alone 5 interceptions in 1 year. I think he's been phenomenal.
Well, Rodney, there's a lot of great defensive players on this field tonight, but I was impressed by the 2 quarterbacks, watching them work out and talking to them. They're playing with so much confidence right now. I expect to see a ton of points on the board
and
tonight.
what I noticed an offense really excited about having Dallas Goedert back. He's a big target. He's one of Jalen Hurts' favorite targets. He's got great hands, and he's hard to cover.
And we got the chance to be down here watching Philly warm up. There's a real sense of calm with this team right now. They played in a lot of big games recently. It was business-like watching them get ready to go to work. Back into you, Maria.
All right, appreciate it, Jack. Let's go to work on these highlights. The Lions taking on the Bears. Remember, Justin Fields, they lost Week 11, even though they were up 12 in the 4th quarter. To the 3rd quarter, we go, we're all tied up at 13, and Fields looking for DJ Moore.
Hey, Maria, give Matt Eberflus, the head coach of the Bears, a lot of credit for stabilizing the Bears. Justin Fields playing his best football of his career.
Not quite the best football for Jared Goff, though. Check this out on the ensuing drive. The snap is botched.
Lions have been sloppy. Offensively, ball's on the ground way too much. They're turning it over. And then on defense, you can't let this guy get out of the pocket and make these kinds of plays with his feet.
I mean, Justin Fields is showing he has one other gear. Like, he's going into it. That was an 11-yard touchdown. Makes it look easy. 4th and 1 here. Lions going for it. And stuffed for the 4-yard loss. Let's hear what Coach Campbell has to say about what he's got to do to get these guys on track.
Yeah, you know what? I need to push it a little bit more. I'm just going to need to be a little more irritable, which I can do that.
We know you can't, Coach. We believe in you. All right, the Seahawks taking on the 49ers. Drew Lock starting for the injured Geno Smith. He is out with a groin injury on the first drive. Lock looking to DK Metcalf. That's a good one to look to.
Oh, he definitely is. One-on-one, DK Metcalf. I don't care if he's covered or not. Give him a chance. Great body control. Gets 3 feet down. He's kind of freaky out there.
Yeah, just a little bit. But the 49ers can be as well. They got a freak show named Deebo Samuel.
They really do. Their offense. Purdy's on fire. The run game's on fire. Deebo's on fire. Ayuk's on fire. It's pretty hard to stop right now. They get Deebo matched up with Jamal Adams down the field. That's advantage 49ers and Deebo.
In the 4th quarter, let's see who else Purdy can find. He's going to connect this time, though, with George Kittle.
Well, that's right. Find the run game, right? Fake McCaffrey up the middle, who ran for 145 today.
Defense sucks up.
Right.
All-star team.
And then there's Kittle wide open.
Look at the location of the ball, Sims.
Perfect.
Right there every time.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, check out Brock Purdy there. They're Niners with their 5th straight win. And Purdy, 19 for 27, 368, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception on this one. But, Sims, you want to talk about the guy he's throwing the ball to, Deebo Samuel.
Well, Deebo wasn't himself last year. This year, he is a huge part of this offense, right? There was contracts, injury issues last year. When they get him rolling, it just adds another weapon to this offense with Shanahan. That's impossible. You see the motion over there. They send a little route over here that kind of gets Jamal Adams' attention because he's the guy responsible for Deebo crossing the field. Because of that, he flat split for a second. Deebo gets over the top. Purdy throws the ball perfectly. We know they can run the ball up the middle, right? The 49ers, they're going to fake run the ball up the middle. They get 2 great blocks on the edge. You can see it right there. Big Trent Williams seals the edge. Deebo, I don't know, is he a running back? Is he a receiver? He's awesome. I know that. That's all
player.
that really matters.
Just a football star. Second straight multi-touchdown game for Deebo Samuel. All right, we got the Bills. We've got the Chiefs. Josh Allen, they're looking to stay in the playoff hunt here. To the second quarter we go. This is not what you want to see, though, if you're a Bills fan.
Yeah, right here, Josh Allen. He throws the ball. Connor makes a good play. Never sees him. But Buffalo came out hot. They get up to a 14-zip lead due to Josh Allen. So let's not hold too much against him on the interception.
Okay, so the Chiefs, though, they want to battle back into this bad boy, taking advantage here.
No Isaiah Pacheco, McKinnon showing I got a little beast mode in me. Bench pressing out there.
I like that celebration. Third quarter, Chiefs down 10. Mahomes looking for Rashee Rice.
This is not an easy throw. He just fits it in that small window, and Rice continues to step up each week. They're going to need more of it.
Yeah, all right, then we move forward to the fourth quarter. Bills driving. Allen sacked on third down, but there's a penalty.
Big stop for the defense, but Watson, he's just holding on a little too long. It's past 5 yards.
You got it. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Let him go.
Okay, so that just extends Buffalo's drive, though. The Chiefs on a final drive. Mahomes hitting Kelsey deep downfield. I love the play call. Get it to Kadarius Toney. Flag's already on the field at this point.
No one knows what's going on, but you're like, what a play.
What a
he
play.
throws it back. And then right there, Tony's offside. At some point, though, for the Chiefs, do we have to take this guy off the field? You can't keep having plays like this.
How does that happen? And then you go into 4th and 15. Mahomes, I mean, he's trying to make something happen. Nothing there. That's how the ball game ends. 20-17. Sean McDermott breathing a sigh of relief. Patrick Mahomes, I've never seen him so upset at the end of a game, right? But you can see there, 271 for Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen, though, did a little bit of everything, Jason, in this game.
Which is what he's done throughout his entire career. We've talked a lot about Josh Allen and the burden that he has. Week in and week out, he puts the city of Buffalo on his back, and he did it again today. So many great throws from the pocket. James Cook was big for him in this ball game. He moves around. He stands in there, and he just throws strike after strike after strike. 9 different receivers caught the ball, and then when the big fella runs it, especially down and close.
Like, who is this? Campbell or a quarterback?
Pretty darn good.
I mean, but look at this play right here. Is he going to go out of bounds? What's he going to? No, don't do it. Don't do it. No, do that. Do that. Go. I mean, this is just
who does that?
Unbelievable.
Who does that? Yeah, Mahomes right there.
Seriously.
I can't tell you how many times you guys are sitting here. You're like, no, yes, do what you want to do, Josh Allen.
Well, with both of those quarterbacks. But Buffalo, we got to give them credit. I mean, they looked down and out a few weeks ago. They're battling back here, and they're back in this AFC playoff picture, and it's because of that guy. He takes a lot of flack, but Josh Allen's one of the best in the game, that's for sure.
All right, well, we are hearing that Patrick Mahomes is really upset with the call by the officials on that Kadarius Toney penalty. So we'll hear more about it as we get to the post game. Let's check in with Steve Kornacki, because a big blow for the Chiefs' chances at that #1 seed, Steve.
Yeah, big blow is putting it mildly. Look, the Chiefs came into today chasing the Ravens, chasing the Dolphins, but actually they had the head-to-head win over the Dolphins. They have a better conference record than the Ravens. The tiebreakers were set to work for them if they could get in position, but instead they lose the game. Baltimore wins. Now the Chiefs full 2 games behind the Ravens. If Miami does what they do best tomorrow and takes out a team with a losing record, they'll also be 2 full games behind Miami. And so just a 9% chance now the Chiefs land with the top seed. Significance, Patrick Mahomes has played in 3 Super Bowls. Besides that, 11 playoff games. All of them have been home games for him. There is a chance we see Patrick Mahomes on the road in the playoffs this year.
All right, thank you, Steve. It's time now for Barry's Bet, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Matthew?
Thank you, Maria. Okay, so quickly, a quick reminder about my DraftKings 3 play from earlier tonight. I like the under on Jalen Hurts rushing, and alt line for CeeDee Lamb, over on the receiving, and over on Jake Ferguson receiving yards as well. As for my bet tonight, listen, we've been running hot, and I'm playing with house money here, so give me a Jake Ferguson anytime touchdown. He scored in 4 of the last 6. No tight end in football has more end zone targets than Jake Ferguson. Oh, and by the way, only 3 teams have allowed more touchdowns to tight ends than the Eagles. It's at plus money. Give me Jake Ferguson anytime touchdown. A reminder, on DraftKings Sportsbook this season, new customers can bet $5 and pocket $150 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, all customers can get a no-sweat same-game parlay every single day. Here's what you do. Download the app. Use promo code SNF. And when you sign up, DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. When we come back, the best of Week 14 on Football Night in America.
Well, Dak and the Cowboys, they haven't lost since they fell to the Eagles on November 5th. Now a chance to avenge that loss against Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, who are trying to bounce back from that loss to the 49ers. Time for the best of Week 14. We start with the Ravens.
Ankle wobbler. Wallace settles under it at the 25. Gets a block. Comes to the near side. 30. Spins out of one tackle. 35. Along the near sideline. 40. He's at midfield. Wallace to the 40. Still on his feet. 30. 20. Celebration time. Wallace in the end zone. Hayes in the barn. And the Ravens win it in overtime.
Convinced they're still celebrating in Baltimore right now.
I mean, look at that.
Look at that smile by Harbaugh.
All of the fans are like, come up here and jump. Let us get in.
They needed that in Baltimore.
All right, Chris, what about what the Browns were able to do with Joe Flacco?
Their defense, we know they make plays. And this guy, Joe Flacco, what? I mean, how old is he coming off the couch? Throwing 38 years old. They're asking him to throw the ball almost 50 times 2 weeks in a row, coming through in the clutch for the Cleveland Browns in that offense.
All right.
Yeah, but that's not it. How about Kansas City and Buffalo? It's always a thriller when these teams meet. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen got it going early in the game, took Buffalo to a lead. And, I mean, look at this. You don't want to tackle this guy. He's a quarterback. Like all these defensive line, he's just going into the end zone. I mean, this game was unbelievable. Back and forth. These two teams going at it, and there's a playoff picture.
Yeah, and with that Chiefs loss, how about this? Denver is just one game back of KC right now. Wow. And the AFC South went 0-3 today.
It's wide open.
It's getting wild. It's getting wild. Except for what the Ravens are able to do. It's sitting at 10-3. Let's take a look at the NFC, though, playoff picture. You see the Eagles, they're sitting on top right there, and they will clinch a playoff berth with a win tonight. Meanwhile, the 49ers, let's talk about them. They're 10-3 as well.
Maria, I have no idea how you stop these guys. So many weapons. Look at the throws that Brock Purdy makes time and time again in this. They got receivers running wide open. Deebo Samuel, receiver, running back, no idea. You can't tackle him. You can't guard him. Look out. Now it's Kittle. You could walk that ball right out there. You place it in the same spot. Kittle finishes it. These guys are hard to stop.
Oh, and then we got the Lions, Maria.
Yes, we do.
They don't stop anybody right now. That's their problem. They're letting up big plays. Justin Fields, big plays with his legs, his arm. Cole Kmet, you're going to see here wide open down the football field, right? There was people in completion sometimes who were like, where are the Lions? Fourth and 13, we go for it. We got no fear because we got DJ Moore one-on-one on the outside. Yeah, head coach Lions mad right now. You can see that.
Hey, guys, we're just hearing that Andy Reid said in his post-game press conference that it's embarrassing for the league the way that game ended. Wow. Yeah, so we'll be hearing more coming out of that matchup against the Bills. All right, now we're getting set for a huge one, Steve Kornacki. Talk to us about what's on the line tonight.
Yeah, a lot on the line from two different levels. The first, the NFC East here. Look, if the Eagles win tonight, they basically clinch the division. But if the Cowboys get the win, they move into a tie with the Eagles. And then here are the tiebreaker procedures in the division. And the key is this. You see, it's a 35% chance with a win tonight that the Cowboys win the division. And why? It's because if both teams won out, the first three levels of the tiebreaker would all end up tied. It would come down to conference record. And that is where the Cowboys have a problem. They've lost 3 NFC games. That bad loss to Arizona could come back to haunt them even if they win tonight. And then there is the battle for the overall #1 seed here. Now, look, if the Eagles win tonight, they're going to have a 70% chance at the #1 seed. San Fran, a 30% chance. You might look at that and say, the Niners just beat the Eagles. They'd only be a game behind. Why such a big spread? Is because look at the schedule left for the Eagles. That is the easiest schedule of any team in the league. The Eagles, with a loss tonight, they still have a 30% chance at the #1 seed. They would just need to win out, and the Niners lose one of these games, maybe, against the Ravens.
All right, thanks, Steve. Now we know what's on the line. Now it's time for the Home Team Picks, brought to you by Lowe's. 54% of America believes that the Dallas Cowboys are going to get the win.
I'm going with America, taking America's team. They're playing better football right now. The Eagles have been through a brutal stretch lately. I don't know if they can keep up the intensity all 4 quarters.
I'm going to go with the Eagles. They burned me last time.
I'm going Cowboys. I like their corners, and I like the way their offense is playing.
Dallas plays great at home. They're playing great on offense. Philly's pass defense, not real good right now. If I'm the Eagles, you got to run the ball. You got to double CeeDee Lamb on every play. I take the Cowboys.
We know who you're taking.
All right, Matthew, Mike.
Yeah, no shock that Coach Garrett's taking the Cowboys, but I think he's right in this one. I'm taking the Cowboys as well on extra rest. Their offense is playing so well. Eagles have not played great defense recently.
14 straight wins at home, make it 15 Cowboys.
Let's get it out to AT&T Stadium. Guys, who are you going with?
Yeah, Maria, this is the best Dak Prescott that we have seen. If he's going to win his first MVP, he needs to shine tonight, I believe, Coach. I'm going with the Cowboys. Who you like?
The Cowboys are red hot, but my question is, can they play with composure in a big moment? I think they will. I'm picking the Cowboys.
Coach Sirianni told me, he said, hey, I'm going to pick the Cowboys, too. I'm going to pick the Cowboys. Coach Sirianni said, we got to get after the quarterback. We got to make sure that we create a couple turnovers.
A lot of Cowboys picks. All right, we'll send it back out to Maria Taylor.
Yeah, everyone but me, I guess. Those were tonight's home team picks brought to you by Lowe's. First place in the NFC East is on the line. Mike, Chris, Melissa are going to have the call. We will see you at halftime. Enjoy it.
This has been the Hyundai Sunday Night Kickoff. Spanish language audio provided by Telemundo Deportes. Or watch tonight's game in Spanish on Universo.